Good morning. It's Wednesday, January the 1st. Happy New Year. And this is The Drill. Thank you. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. I'm a U.S. Air Force veteran, a Christian, and a registered independent. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. So you think that you're a conservative? Do you consider yourself an environmentalist? Do you think of yourself as a leader or a change agent? Do you believe in exceptions, middle ground, compromise? Then you are not a conservative. Today, don't let the left lure you into gratuitous arguments. They will pretend to disagree to lure you into a useless argument. Don't do it. 2 moral laws. Number 1, the ends never justify the means. 2, might never makes right. And anyone who tries to tell you otherwise is lying. All that when I come back. Thank you. Welcome back. The left will try to lure you into gratuitous arguments in order to demoralize you and thereby shut you up. They will try to argue with the obvious. For instance, if you tell one of your socialist acquaintances that 2 plus 2 equals 4, they will respond by telling you, "You don't know that," or "How can you be sure?" Or they might even ask you to prove it. Don't be fooled or intimidated. Even though they are putting you under a lot of psychological stress, you can defeat them. First, remember that we know the obvious by the evidence of our senses. No one has to prove what they see, hear, taste, or touch. So when a lefty tells you that you don't know that, you reply, "Prove it." When they ask you, "How can you be sure?" you reply, the same way you do, by the evidence of your senses. And if they demand that you prove it, you reply, "It's self-evident." Once you understand that the socialists are all about tricks, and you learn how to get around those tricks, you can't lose. When I come back, the 2 moral laws. Thank you. The ends don't justify the means and might doesn't make right are the 2 universal moral laws. Universal means the law applies to everyone, everywhere, at all times. When you grasp these 2 moral laws, then every other ethical question is easily answered, such as, are there any differences between moral laws and society's laws? Are there certain kinds of acts, like torturing children, that are always wrong? Knowing these ethical laws is important because socialists will try to convince you to corrupt yourself by conning you into believing that ethics either don't exist or are relative to the individual and or certain situations. Don't be fooled. Back in a minute. In conclusion, gratuitous arguments will sap your energy, and there are universal rights and wrongs. Who is the true conservative? He's the person that understands that conservatism is not just about politics, but culture as well. He is not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He is patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with absolute certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He is consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn and correct his mistakes. He is a normal American and is better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you're wasting your time. That brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it.